Welcome back to JB Reviews. I wanted to do a video on this AT4X because it's white. And white trucks with black bumpers look like work trucks, let's just be honest. I borrowed this truck from Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to ask for Frank. They have two available, this white one and they have a sterling silver. They're pretty much identical. The only difference is one's white, one's silver. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see some of the options and features on this build. At the very top are the specs for this truck, and be sure to pause it for the standard equipment. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. And here is the base price for the AT4X at $82,800. And this truck has basically three options. You have the Duramax fifth wheel prep package and then the high idle switch. Destination comes in at $1995 with a total price of $95,030. Whatever you do, do not buy these trucks without that high idle switch, especially if you live in colder climates. Now if you live in Florida or any southern states that don't get that cold, it's not a big deal, but that high idle switch is definitely worth the add-on for 200 bucks. It should be standard personally. But if you're new to the AT4X, this truck has a menacing look. Up front, the difference between this and an AT4 is you get this bronze color on the front grille, and it has like that bow design. That's what you get when you get an X, whether you get the half ton or the heavy duty. You get that bronze finish on the front grille. Also, it comes standard with the forward facing camera or the surround view camera, which is 360, and they give you the black bumpers down below. You see a little bit more of that bronze on the side there, and if you go even further down, you can see they do remove that front valance. I'll show you what I'm talking about right here. You can see right there on this AT4, it has that valance. So that's gonna give you more ground clearance. And you get a large aluminum skid plate that protects your components down below. But as far as the headlights, fog lights, and everything else goes, it's pretty much what you're gonna see on the regular AT4. I do love the overall design with the black bumper. Now, as I said, does it look like a work truck? Yeah, it does. It looks like a work truck, I'll be honest with you guys. But because the bumper is a gloss finish, it does look really nice. Now, off to the side, you guys can see 18-inch wheels. And 18s actually do come standard on the AT4s as well. But these 18s are wrapped in a Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT. These are basically 35-inch tires. They're 34.8 inches tall and 12 inches wide. And then here's the actual size of the tire there. And then the capacities are right there, 3,750 pounds at 65 PSI, independent front suspension. And you guys can see some of that Multimatic suspension. You might be able to see it a little bit better right there. A little bit of gold and blue. And they do widen these fender flares just slightly. Clearance lights do come standard as well. You see more of that bronze on the side here. Painted door handles, power deployable running boards do come standard. Smart key system for the front doors. This is really a nice truck. I really do like it in white. Now, as far as the bed goes, this is basically 6 foot 10 inches. 36 gallon fuel tank, 7 gallon DEF. You guys can see the steps on the side. Here's that Multimatic DSSV, which stands for Dynamic Suspension Spool Valve. 5 leaves in the main pack. 342 rear. And I love the tail lights too. These are only for AT4 and the AT4X, for the HD segment that is too. And then you have those steps out back, parking sensors. They do give you a full-size spare as well. And you have your multi-pro tailgate. And then your kicker sound system also comes standard. Now this doesn't have the lights, by the way, too. That is an option you can add on. Not a big deal. I have them on my truck, I don't use them. 400 watts of power, bed lights. They go through the process to stamp AT4X in the front of the bed. You have 2 camera views, one for the rearview mirror, one for the bed view, and a sliding rear glass. And this one has the 5th wheel prep package, so you have the 4 and 7 pin and the puck system. But yeah, that is a killer shot with the snow on the mountains with this truck in the background. Let's go ahead and check out the Duramax. Most of the trucks you see are going to have the diesel because obviously diesels are more popular, and that's why you buy an HD truck. But you can get the 6.6 liter gas L8T. That engine does have the 10-speed Allison behind it, 401 horsepower, 464 pound-feet of torque. It's definitely not first place, but if you're not really towing, or if you don't tow long distance, I should say, I think the gas engine is more than enough. Now, it does feel a little sluggish, I will say. I feel like they need like a little bit more horsepower, especially if you live high above elevation like I do. But this Duramax is the answer to the power problem. 470 horsepower and 975 pound-feet of torque. This engine is probably the best Duramax ever. This is the Gen 2 L5P, and the 10-speed Allison behind it has deep gears. It has a Denso fuel pump and injector, so I think this is probably one of the more reliable examples in the HD segment. And when you get the AT4X, the interior comes one way, Obsidian Rush, and this interior is absolutely beautiful. I own this truck, so I might be a little biased, but you have the massagers for the top part of the seat. You can actually change the bowstring to tighten it up on you. You have shoulder support right here that comes in and out too. And I think that overall, this interior is probably one of my favorite in the HD segment. I love the white piping that they give you with the red stitching in the middle here, with the white stitching right there. And suede on the roof too. So it has a really nice luxury look for the entire interior. And like I said, this all comes standard on AT4X. So when you think about the Multimatic DSSV, when you think about the interior, and you see that the price is $95,030, I gotta admit to you guys, the AT4, once you add up a few of the options, it's just at $88,000 to $90,000. So I feel as though this truck is worth it. Now the only issue is it comes in just 3/4 ton. So that's the problem with these trucks, is you do run out of payload pretty quickly. But I will show it to you in a second. Let's just go quickly around the interior, because I'm gonna drive this truck really quickly, because I wanna see if my theory is correct. I had mentioned that this truck was a lot stiffer when it was brand new, and now that I have a few miles on it, I want to see if it has gotten softer compared to this new truck, because this truck probably only has a few miles on it. So let's see. So the truck has 38 miles on it. So heads up displays right there. You guys can see the screens here. I'm gonna put it in reverse so you can see the 360 camera view. I like how they set this up below. The menu is really easy to use. The cameras are very clear. Here's that bed view camera that you can zoom into. Also, as I said, that rear view mirror, that's what the other camera is for. You have LED lights for the interior as well. And then here's the center. Cup holders, a little bit of storage there. Trailer brake, AT4X badge. Really nice appointment to the center armrest too. And then you have some USBs, power plug, deep storage with some lighting in there too. Now these seats do feel like the regular seats do. I will admit, I thought that these were a little bit softer compared to like the Chevy seats or the regular AT4 seats, but they're all pretty stiff. But I will say, having that massage function, let me show you guys really quickly what it looks like here. There's a lot of menus on these GMC trucks, but you do have like a toggle switch on the side here, and you can pretty much see here you have roll, knead, wave, relief, glide, and it goes back up to the top. The back bolster, so you can basically, you know, change that bowstring on the side. Lumbar, it goes up and down, in and out. And then you have that shoulder support right there. Dual climate control, heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel right there. You have the seat memories. This truck is really loaded. The Bose sound system is actually upgraded. I believe it goes from 9 to 12 speakers. So you have the 16-way seats on both sides, by the way. And just check out the attention to detail on this interior. Like, it's just done well. Like, I think that GM has done the best job for 2024, and that's why they are selling quickly. Like, these trucks don't really stick around. Like, this is the first time I've seen at Jerry Seiner they had available AT4Xs that were here for more than a couple days. But you have the leather wrap on these grab handles. If you go out back, they do wrap these in leather too, but seat backs, and you have that same design out back too. They provide a little bit of storage. You have the outboard heated seats, USBs. Check out your floor mats too. They have rubber. Oh, this is more like a hard, really hard plastic rubber almost. And then you have the carpet inserts that come out. And then here's the door out back too. Really nice design. Now, I didn't mention this, but they do wrap this area here in leather too. No one else does that in the HT segment. Let's go ahead and take it for a drive. Now, the reason why I want to drive this truck as well is I want to see if the transmission responds like mine. My transmission's kind of sluggish. I feel like whenever you're like cruising and you give it a little bit of acceleration, I feel like the torque converter seems sluggish. I can't really explain it. It only happens a few times. Like, it's not all the time, but I don't like the way it feels. Like, this is the first time that I got a 10-speed Allison and I didn't like it. So I don't know if it's because it's a 3/4 ton and you have that 11.5-inch ring gear out back. It could be that too. But let's just kind of get up to about 50 miles an hour. Turbo spools up really fast. Now, my truck has 7,000 miles on it right now, so I feel as though my truck is broken in. This truck feels right out of the gate like my truck does now, which is pretty interesting. Didn't seem like there's like a lot of turbo delay there. But you know, this truck feels like my truck, I guess. Maybe I've just gotten used to how it rides, because at first it was really stiff. My wife said that first, and then I felt like she was, you know, correct. I was like, man, it does feel like a 1-ton. But the Multimatic DSSV on the HTs, it's definitely stiffer for sure. Like, I think that most guys going from a 1/2 ton to this, they won't like the ride. But if you can live with the ride of a 1-ton, then this is probably slightly better than that. And I'm talking about the 1-ton GM pickups, not Ram. Ram trucks are the stiffest trucks in the world. But it feels like a sports car. I've said that in the past, and I still have that same, you know, feeling here. I feel as though like you can feel the road more, and it bounces, but it's dampened when it bounces. It's not like hopping you up and down. It's just very dampened. So it has really good on-road manners. Oh yeah, this truck is... Oh, so I just felt it in the transmission just now. It must be with the 3/4 tons. I'm willing to bet you with that 11.5-inch ring gear, there has to be a difference to how these trucks perform compared to the 1-tons with the 12-inch ring gear. Now, if I give it like a little bit of gas right now, and then I give it a little bit more, it didn't do it that time. My truck, it would like almost hesitate a little bit. I hate the way it felt. And it's only done it like maybe 2 or 3 times since I've had it. But ever since after 3,000 miles, I don't really feel it as much. I'm gonna give it a little bit of acceleration. I really want to see if that turbo spool. So I'm just gonna like let it just kind of roll here, and I'm gonna give it wide open throttle. Yeah, there's still a little bit of hesitation there. But that's what you can expect when you have this much power, because most of that power is that forced induction, right? But when you're cruising along and you give it gas, this truck doesn't do it as bad as mine did. It's a lot more smoother. I feel like the transmission is a lot more dialed in compared to what I have. So I might take my truck back in for service. I actually had to get some warranty work done on my truck. I have to do a video on that, but I might have them recalibrate my transmission, because I almost wonder if there's just something off with it, because this one's not doing it as much as mine was. And I really think it's because I felt it a little bit when we were driving it earlier, but this time around it's just not doing it. Here are the numbers on the door. The gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 5,600 pounds. The rear is 6,600 pounds. And gross fuel weight ratings, 11,350 pounds. Here are your wheel sizes, 18 by 9 inches wide. And then total payload is basically the exact same as my truck. It's like a couple pounds more actually. I think mine's like, no, actually no, this is the exact same as mine. Exact same. Because my truck has the exact same options, it's just a different color. So 2,854 pounds is the actual payload. It shows your towing capacity, 18.5 for conventional, 18.1 for gooseneck. And this truck is 8,495 pounds on the curb. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure the bell notifications are on. See you guys soon.